We have arrived in Portuguese Venice, Aveiro. We will be staying here for 3 nights for now.
Yeah, it might end up being a month. This train station is absolutely beautiful. As you can see behind me, it is a pearly, lily white building with beautiful tiles, blue tiles, depicting different parts of Portugal on there. It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, really nice artwork, a lot of details, and it's gorgeous.
And of course, wherever you see people taking pictures, you already know. As we're walking around looking for something to eat, we can't help but notice these buildings that are all over the place. They're just absolutely beautiful. The tiles are pristine and they're all different types of patterns and colors.
Different designs. There are fishes on one, the other one sculptures or different paintings.
I would definitely say it's more colorful than Porto. Porto buildings, they're old, they're aged. You get that old feel here. It's not really that the buildings are not old, but they're very, very colorful. So even when the facade is old, you can tell it's an older style building, but the colors just pop right away.
And the buildings are shorter than in Porto. I only see the tallest is 3-story buildings. And in Porto, there are a lot of rundown buildings. Here, I only see a few buildings that are almost collapsed, but most buildings are in pretty good shape. As I mentioned before, Aveiro is called Portuguese Venice. Well, why? Take a look for yourself.
And all we have to do is turn just a little bit and voila! The boat's behind us. The closest we're gonna come to get to Venice until we get to Venice.
Aveiro is known for salt production. We've never seen how salt is being made, so it was really fascinating to visit their salt pans.
Visiting these salt flats is free. You could just come on over the bridge and walk in here and see the salt. It's really cool because it's just like a vast area, and depending on when you come, I guess, you'll see the pools and it might not look like there's salt there, like what you would anticipate salt would be, but it's actually there, and it looks like it's just like a layer of floating oil, if you will, like on top. But when you scoop your hand and you pick it up, you actually see it's salt crystals, and the crystals are really odd shaped. They're almost perfectly square and layered within each other, like there's tiny layers within one little cube, and they're perfectly squared. Really awesome. We've been walking around for just about 3 hours, and one thing we already noticed, which is completely different than from Porto, is the fact that Aveiro is really flat.
Yes, the streets are really easy to walk. The buildings are so beautifully decorated. They have all different types of designs.
And it's funny because now I really appreciate walking on flat surfaces after being in Porto for a month, and we were going up hills after hills every single day. So now that it's flat here, there is a big difference and it stands out right away.
I'm just walking around and looking on the buildings. It's like walking in a museum. Speaking of Portuguese Venice, there are a lot of canals and there are a lot of cool bridges crossing over the canals as well. Really awesome vibes here. And as we were told, Ovos was invented here in Aveiro, and all coffee shops sell them. In Porto, there was more pastel de natas in all the shops. Here, it's Ovos everywhere. And they have a lot of different funny shapes as well. We noticed there is a lot of construction here in Aveiro, and it's a good sign because the city is developing. Right now we are in a city center, and there is a beautiful park that is being built and developed right behind me. And when we were also going from the train station to the city center, there is also a very large area that is being renovated as well. After a full day of filming Aveiro travel guide, we came out for dinner. We are starving. We noticed here in Aveiro, in restaurants, a lot of dishes here are for 2 or even 3 people. It's because the portions are very large. A lot of times they will prepare the entire fish, and the fish is like this big. So of course they charge it per kilo, and it's for several people. Wow, my plate is massive. Look at my arm. It is bigger than my arm. Apparently ribbons are the thing here in Aveiro. We notice them everywhere. This is Forum Mall and the entire ceiling has these ribbons tied up, and when the wind blows they move. It is so cool. And the bridge is covered with ribbons, and they're even in stores. I'm not sure what they signify, but we will get to the bottom of it. Good morning, it is breakfast time. So what we noticed here in Aveiro, it is very difficult to find breakfast where they have eggs. A lot of bakeries and cafes, they don't have kitchen, and the best that they can do is make toast with cheese and ham. Look at this massive croissant, and it has cheese and ham inside. And also we noticed even in cafes and touristy places, not that many people speak English. Some just speak a few words, but we found in Porto people speak English way better.
As massive as you see my croissant was, it's incredible just how light and fluffy it is, but as you can see, it's really thick. But it's not dense at all. It is light, it is airy, so much so that it goes from this thickness to awesome.
Next, we took an Uber to see Aveiro's pristine beach, Costa Nova. It was a quick 15 minutes taxi ride from the center of Aveiro. On the way there, we could not believe our eyes. We saw flamingos. Wow, this beach is really nice. I love the sand. This is, for me, it is the perfect sand. It is really soft and powdery. And I wish we had some beach towels to lay out because it is super nice, but I do want some shade, and there is no shade here.
And as Irina mentioned with the weather, it is beautiful. There is not a cloud in the sky for as far as your eye can see in every direction. It's been like that since we've been here in Aveiro, so I guess we're just blessed with good weather. Hopefully that's the case. We don't know what the weather conditions are during different seasons, but since we've been here, it's been lovely.
And we've been told that Costa Nova has the best and the freshest seafood because it is a seafood town, and huge fishermen houses from traditionally painted in stripe from back in the days are located here. Aveiro was first established as a fisherman village, and fishing is still one of the most popular activity in Aveiro. So when you come to a restaurant and they say a catch of the day, they really mean it. We have never tasted fish fresher than here in Aveiro.
The fish does look super simple, and of course when the waiter actually takes all the bones out and whatever and just gives you the fillet, it does look very basic. The taste is far from basic. Trust me on this one. The freshness of this fish is incredible. Like the moment you put the fish in your mouth, before you even really bite into it, you can taste the freshness in your mouth. It is incredible. And also the vegetables are done right. And also we notice whenever they serve potatoes, it's usually these kind of fingerling potatoes, the smaller potatoes. They squash it, and then sometimes they actually fry it for a second to get that charred taste to it as well, and they do that nice smashing effect on it. Really good. But back to the fish. Wow, incredible.
So let's talk about Canastras here. Here at the restaurant, it is called Canastras do Fidalgo, and this is a canastra. It used to be used back in the days to put salt, groceries, and pretty much like a basket, like your grocery basket or anything to carry. And they used to come in different sizes, and women used to put them on their heads to carry the salt or groceries in there. And here at the restaurant, they serve bread in this little mini canastras. And you can, in Aveiro, you can buy these as souvenirs to take home with you. These are really pretty baskets. And Fidalgo, back in the days during king times, it used to be a wealthy person that used to have land, or just higher status person. And right now Fidalgo is actually it's the name of the man who opened this restaurant. Canastras do Fidalgo. Highly recommended. Our waiter is the sweetest. Look, he brought us smaller one. They are more of souvenir size. To check it out. We originally wanted to book an Airbnb or hotel here in Costa Nova for a couple of nights, but we always book at the last minute, and 2 days before our desired date there was nothing. There was only one Airbnb and it didn't look so good, so we decided to take a day trip instead. So here's a tip for you: if you come in summertime, be sure to book in advance,
because there's not a lot to begin with, so it's very few and far in between accommodations you will find here.
There are Airbnbs, hotels and hostels, and some of these colorful buildings are Airbnbs as well. They used to be fishermen houses. Some of them are still fishermen houses, but most of them are just vacation homes.
But no worries, if you can't find a place here and you really want to experience what it's like here, you can also stay in Aveiro, and it's literally only like a 15-minute Uber ride here. So you can come here, spend the day, get here early in the morning, hang out at the beach, get your sun on, and then from there come to this area here, which is only 2 blocks away from the beach, and get some really great fresh seafood, the best seafood.
And if you're on a budget, you can also take a public bus from Aveiro to Costa Nova. This is it for our Aveiro and Costa Nova first impressions. If you found this video helpful or interesting in any way, please click like. It will help other viewers who are interested in coming to Aveiro discover this video. In our next video, we will show you everything Aveiro has to offer. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell notification so you don't miss when we publish our next video. With your support, we will continue making informative travel videos like this to help you get the most out of your vacation. Obrigada so much for watching, and as usual, just be out with us.